Welcome back to FM Story. In this episode of our Athletic Club Save, we begin season 4. Can we get a bit closer to Real Madrid and Barcelona than we ended last season? Can we defend the Copa del Rey? Let's find out. Before we get started, if you do enjoy the video, please like, comment and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get going. So it's the beginning of season 4. Just to look first of all into what we've done transfer-wise. There's been a couple of big deals. So the first thing was that Liverpool came in with an offer of 84 million for Unai Venkador, and it was too good to really turn down. So Venkador left. We've got rid of Imanol as well, who was the backup left back. And a lot of players have gone out on loan, and Ivan Martin left for Valencia for 2.5 million. So we made a little profit on that deal for someone who wasn't really involved that much last season. And then in terms of the incomings, it's two big ones really. So with us losing Unai Venkador, we needed a central midfielder to replace him. So we signed Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. We had tried to sign Bernat Turrientes from Real Sociedad. Both of them, we matched the release clauses. Turrientes in the end signed a new contract with Sociedad. Zubimendi came to us, and who looks a really decent replacement for Venkador. Can play in that deep line playmaker role that Venkador was playing in last season. And then also, because of the money we got in for Venkador, it meant we could bring in another centre half. Because obviously, for pretty much the whole of the save so far, our first choice centre half pairing has been Danny Vivian and Inigo Martinez. Inigo Martinez is now getting on a bit. He's suffered a few injuries last season, probably can't play every game. So we signed Hugo Guillamon from Valencia, who can play in midfield or in a holding role, but he's probably going to be most used in the centre of defence alongside Danny Vivian. So that's really the only ones we've kind of brought in. Obviously, we've got a lot of players back from, like Danny Rodriguez is back from his loan spell at Girona last season. We've got a lot of young players at the top end of the pitch. We let Imanol go because Unai Ibanez is coming through as a young left back, so he's probably going to be the backup for the season. So the squad, I think, is in a decent position. It's maybe a bit worse than last season, just in terms of Venkador's gone, and we're plugging some of the gaps in the squad with some of the youth players. But it's once the squad develops in a year or two, it'll be in a really decent position. In terms of the league schedule, we've got a relatively decent start to the league. We're playing Real Madrid second up this season. Now, we played them second up last season and got hammered 9-1. So hopefully we can do better than that. But other than that, the first sort of even through to October, I mean, we've got Real Sociedad in October and Valencia and Sevilla. But relatively, it looks like a fairly decent run of games to start the season. Obviously, as you can see, pre-season hasn't exactly gone swimmingly. So hopefully we can get off to a good start against Levante to give us something to take into that Real Madrid game. Going into the Real Madrid game, we're in a pretty good place. We won the first league game of the season away at Levante. We won 2-0. Fairly comfortable performance. The one concern is that we didn't really take the chances that we probably could have done. I mean, we had 11 shots to target, and there was a couple of one-on-ones that we smashed over the bar. But we weren't in any real kind of jeopardy at any point. Zubimendi was outstanding on his debut. The defence really didn't have an awful lot to do. There was very few moments where they looked like they were going to even attack on us, let alone get a chance. But overall, pretty decent first performance, and now a big test coming against Real Madrid at home. We're going to go into the game with the same team that started the first game of the season. Interesting to see their formation in terms of, it looks like it's maybe Vinicius is playing through the middle for them. Or maybe it's even Marco Asensio in a false nine kind of role. They've got Goncalo Ramos on the bench. All right, I think by this time last season we were already 1 or 2 behind, perhaps, in that 9-1 defeat in the second game of last season. Vivian's looked for Inaki Williams, who's given the ball away. Asensio And there we go, 1-0 down already. Alaba was able to run a long way with the ball. Asensio gets in behind Odriozola. And there wasn't much the keeper could do about that. What? Oh. I think we might be looking to change the wide players at half time because they really aren't performing. Right, so we moved Munier in wide right and brought Serrano on wide left and Julian Guerrero in behind Valabra. Right, Guillamon, Javi Lopez. Right, out wide to Munier on the right. Oh, it was a lovely ball in, just no one there. And now, I thought they were going to break then. Serrano, Julian Guerrero. Oh! No. He got sent off in the second game of last season against Real Madrid as well. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting once we went down to 10 men that we would struggle to get the ball and they would just create chance after chance. It's the hope that kills you. We could just nick one, but they're gonna end up scoring on the counter attack, or it's just gonna peter out into a. Yeah, they've killed the game off. That second half performance was so much better. And Danny Rodriguez looked really good when he came on. I mean, he was one of two of our players that were in the top 10 in the next gen last season. But does he now push for a start? Julian Guerrero did well when he came on, although probably dropped off a bit when we dropped him into that unfamiliar position. Nico Serrano did well. Some decisions to be made before the next game about the selection. We're now approaching the end of September, and since the Real Madrid game, we've had a kind of okay run. We've not played particularly well, and we're struggling to take chances, but we're 5th in the league with 11 points from 6 games. So the first game immediately after the Real Madrid game was away at Real Valladolid, who obviously came up, were promoted last season. We gave away a penalty in the first half. We were truly abysmal and got an injury time equaliser from Julian Guerrero. Very, very tight offside decision for a header from sort of 15, 16 yards. But luckily it was given and we got the point. We then followed that up with a 2-0 victory over Elche. And again, the first half we weren't great. But we were able to pick up a couple of goals in the second half, including a lovely one from Zubimendi. The keeper came and punched across, and Zubimendi just lifted it over the keeper from 25 yards to just secure the win there. And then the Champions League. So we played Young Boys. We got off to a decent start with an early goal, but then we went down to 10 men, and not much happened in the rest of the game. We weren't really under any kind of threat, but we also didn't look like scoring either. The next game was a league game against Almeria. So we took a lead early on in the second half. They pegged us back, and it looked like it was just going to peter out into a draw. And then Valabra stepped up in injury time to score 2 goals. It's about the only time this season that he's actually really looked like the Valabra of the past 2 seasons. He's really kind of struggled performance-wise. and in taking his chances in the opening weeks of the season. And then the most recent game was a game against Malaga in the league, which we drew 0-0. And apparently we created loads of chances because I think we had 15 shots, but we had 3 on target, which has been the big problem so far this season. And we've got a game against Getafe to round out the month. Obviously, we're in the Champions League phase, so we've got some tough games coming up. In that we've got Milan, we've got Man City, we've got Leipzig, somehow Aston Villa are in the Champions League. We've got Salzburg, we've got Ajax, and we've got Porto. So overall, I would say as an 8 matches that we've got in the Champions League phase, that's probably more difficult than what we had last season. But hopefully we can pick up some points against some of the big teams and sort of at least secure that top 24 position there. Going into this game away at Getafe, we played on Thursday night. This is a Monday night game. And then we've got a game on Thursday in the Champions League against Milan. So we've kind of rotated most of the team just to try and keep some fresh legs for the Milan game and get some more experience into some of the younger players that are going to start this game. Right, sunset. Nico Serrano picks up the ball, runs with it. Nico Williams, Danny Rodriguez, into Nico Williams. Lovely goal. It's the first thing I've noticed happened in the game, but Nico Serrano ran with it from the back. Nico Williams, Danny Rodriguez, back to Nico Williams, and just slots it past the keeper. Kappa. It was a loose ball. And now they're attacking behind him. What? And that's why Odriozola has been starting the season. So he gives the ball away, then he doesn't do, and then he just stands on the ball and says, "Here, you have it." What the? I mean, for someone who's out of contract at the end of the season, he's not going about getting a new one very well. Ending behind Kappa again. That was a good save. Now, surely he was offside there. Oh, what a lovely ball. Oh! And that goes back to what I was saying about Valabra's form in front of goal this season. Oh my God. And this is going to be yet another defeat against a team that were bottom of the table. Right, we've got some serious problems here. And that's the end of this episode. Join us next time for some big games in the Champions League. We're obviously going to have to come up with some sort of new plan, or at least somehow find a way of playing better, because these last couple of games have been atrocious. But join us next time to see what we can do.